Welcome to the Wrestling Universe podcast. My name is Cosk. I am joined, as always, well, not always, but as per usual, Tanner, and this time, a very good friend, Jordan. Say hello.
How we doing?
Uh, you know, I like to go like all killer, no filler, so I think we should start like right off the bat with the Logan Paul story.
Okay.
If anyone's watched Raw, I watched like the first hour of it, but then I got kind of bored because it's a 3 hour show. But if you watched Raw, then you saw Logan Paul announcing himself for the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I saw some announcements.
It was
Yeah.
it was rumored
Continue.
for thank you. It was rumored for a while, but like now it's come to fruition. Thank God it didn't come to like someone else's spot. What do you think
Mhm.
about Logan Paul winning the Money in the Bank? Do you think it's a possibility, Jordan?
I can see him winning it, but I don't think it would be the best decision. Mostly because I don't think he would be able to do anything with the Money in the Bank right now.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like I feel like the Money in the Bank's failed too many times. Like
What?
Yeah.
like it's had like successful cash-ins, but the cash-ins have not been good. You need like a very
Mhm.
successful cash-in. You need a
There's
good reign. Yeah,
two successful captains in the past 5 years.
that's ridiculous. And the woman's
Or-
briefcase has like you're searching
There
it
were
right now.
three holders who didn't cash in successfully, and three who did. So it's a 50% chance right now.
Yeah, I feel like the prestige of the Money in the Bank has taken like a large hit, so we need a
Oh,
successful
yeah.
cash-in.
I don't think Logan should win. I think there's a possibility he wins, but I'm going with my man L.A. Knight.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's a good pick. I'm going with the out of field pick. I'm going with Damien.
Damian Priest would be very cool.
Look, imagine this. Imagine this story. All right. Now I am a Finn Balor fan, so of course I'm going to say this. But look, imagine Finn Balor beats Seth, right? Damien wins Money in the Bank. So now there's this overlooming threat. Is Damien going to cash in on Balor? Is he going to cash in on Balor? Is he going to? Is this what's going to be the end of Judgment Day?
I like that story. I feel there's another story you could do with it. Of Balor loses and he gets jealous of Damian Priest, jealous of him having that success, and maybe he replaces him with the long rumored JD McDonough, so Judgment Day still takes a thing. Because I'll be honest, Dominic cannot go without Judgment Day right now. He still needs time to prepare.
Yeah. I don't think that's a story that they should go with. I think whoever wins Money in the Bank should be cashing in on Roman at SummerSlam.
I still believe Cody should dethrone Roman, not because I'm a big Cody fan, but because if Cody doesn't end his story, then it's over for him.
It's
I
wrapped.
don't think Roman should hold it that long though. That's the thing.
I don't know. I feel like Roman should have lost it in the first place, but like if he's holding it now, I feel I have to go all the way till Mania to end this.
Yeah.
Are you excited about Logan and the Money in the Bank? Do you think it's a good decision overall?
Yes. So overall, I feel like he's gonna get this Money in the Bank, and he's gonna show out and perform. Mostly because I think this Money in the Bank is gonna lead to him versus Ricochet at, I believe, SummerSlam is the next pay per view after Money in the Bank.
I think so.
Yeah.
It would be really cool because like Logan Paul is known for his stunts in a way. Like he's
Mhm.
a very good wrestler, but like that Ricochet stunt, for example, imagine they pull it off like two separate ladders. They jump, hit each other midair. It's like the Ed Spear, but like with clotheslines instead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
Crazy.
a good. Logan's like naturally gifted when it comes to acrobatics and stuff. We'll definitely get a couple of cool spots.
Damn flippy wrestlers, not like my real wrestlers, the Young Bucks.
I'm excited to see how he interacts with all the people in the ring because of course he's gonna do the flippy stuff with with Ricochet, but how's he gonna act when he's faced with Butch? Because Butch is just a natural born killer.
You think
You know.
maybe they could do some technical wrestling, like in the middle of the match? Not like full on technical, but like lots of reversals.
Hmm.
A big lockup top of the ladder.
Yo, I'm calling it right now. This is gonna be a spot. Logan's gonna get to the top, right? He's gonna reach. Butch is gonna grab his wrist at the top of the ladder and then do some joint manipulation on the top. Calling it right now.
People would love that.
I wouldn't be shocked. Bitter end off the top of the ladder would be insane.
Do you want Logan Paul to die?
I'm not saying on Logan necessarily. I'm just saying on somebody.
Okay, so
Who's most?
yeah,
Just do it to Santos. I feel like he has.
I feel it would be best on Ricochet because Ricochet is the best seller in the match if they do the bitter end. But anyways,
Yeah.
so to finish off this topic, none of us want Logan Paul to win the Money in the Bank, but we're all good with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Tanner are going for LA Knight, yeah, and Jordan's going with Priest.
Yeah.
I gotta.
Well,
Dang it.
that wasn't the only major thing to happen on Monday Night Raw because Tomasso Ciampa finally made his return. What do you think about
And
it, Jordan? I see you clapping. Wait, Tanner?
he got his back, and he got his theme song back.
Amazing.
Streets eating. The streets are eating.
What do you think about it, Tanner?
Ooh.
Well, you know how big of a Ciampa fan I am.
I do.
If he manages to actually do something in this run, it would be great. I don't think he could. He might dethrone Gunther. That could be an interesting storyline because of a previous match between the two.
He'd need a lot of build up, I think.
Yeah, it would be a while. But there's also been rumors of a DIY reunion.
That's something I wanted to talk about because an interesting absence from this run in general was someone who a lot of people were expecting because it was his hometown, Mr. Johnny Gargano. Jordan, how do you feel about that?
I really wanted to see Johnny Gargano on the show personally because I wanted him to accept the open challenge. I'm cool with what they did with Balor, but I really didn't want to see Johnny Gargano on the show. But overall, I feel like I'll be fine if he does team up with Tommaso again to go down the DIY route and eventually go down the titles. But then that's going to still lead to them breaking up in the future, which is what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
I don't think he can do another breakup feud, even if it's like with a new audience.
It's like
Mhm.
it's bad luck every time they reunite DIY.
It's bound to explode.
No, not even the explosion. Somebody gets injured every time they reunite DIY, and it's tragic.
It's a cursed tag team, but they do perform in the ring, so
DIY versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
That'd be
think. Say what you're saying.
That'd be insane.
They have the
I
story.
think
No, you continue.
my fault. I think what their plan was later down the line to do a quadruple threat with two other tag teams, most likely Imperium and Judgment Day if it's still functional by that time.
Cook.
I don't see Judgment Day breaking up.
They don't. They shouldn't. Anyways,
It's iffy.
I think that the story of DIY versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn is very interesting because who's gonna betray who first? Is it Sami betraying KO? Is it KO betraying Sami? Is it Ciampa betraying Gargano? Is it Gargano betraying Ciampa?
They all
I don't know.
betray the same match.
Kevin already got some seeds planted right now because he's pretty much fed up with everything.
Yeah, but that's just Kevin being Kevin.
Something else interesting is they finally split up him and The Miz. I personally didn't think it was like a big deal at first because I didn't have much expectations of Vince era, and at least it was an introduction. At least he was going to be on TV. But like now that Hunter's running the program, you cannot have him with The Miz. What do you think, Jordan?
Breaking him and the Miz up was a great idea. Now, don't get me wrong. When he was with the Miz, he killed it. He gave banger promos. He gave banger matches. He did do the support role really well. But Ciampa's not a support character.
I agree.
He's well, I'm not gonna say he's a solo guy because of course DIY, but he's a main character guy. That's what I'm gonna go with. He's the guy who should have a spotlight on him if he's in the group, in my opinion.
I think with his during his run with the Miz, they made him look insanely goofy. Whether it was the garbage gear or the interesting storylines.
What you talking about, the My Balls Are Massive storyline?
Yeah, that was exactly what I was talking about.
That was
A little
funny at
side note.
yeah.
Say what you were saying. Go ahead, continue.
The ball storyline, like it was funny at first, but now he just kind of runs into the ground.
Yeah, I can't believe he's still wearing that shirt. It's been like a year.
I was just going to say that he's wearing the same attire since he first put it on.
Yeah,
He's
but no,
overused. Yeah.
Ciampa with a neon green jacket was not the move at all.
I thought the neon green jacket was alright.
I don't
That
pay
was when he took it. Isn't
It's
when
not
he
a
took it off when the fit fell apart.
I don't pay attention to gear as much as most people, so I don't care that much. And this is like Karrion Cross BDSM mask levels.
I'm taking a sip of water after that one.
yeah.
But anyways, someone who we won't be seeing in the WWE anytime soon apparently is Moose, who has re-signed with Impact, the longest deal in their history, according to him. Moose, what do you think about that, Jordan?
Now, as I said before we started the podcast, I haven't been able to watch a lot of Impact as of late because I've been busy on the days they do premiere their shows. But something about Moose is that anytime I'm hearing about Impact, one of the things I'm hearing about Impact is Moose. He's one of those, let's say, like, dang, I'm losing the word.
Impact.
Poster figures. Somebody will put on their poster. So it's a good keep for them. Like that's one of their essential guys that they can always keep and use. Like he's that monster character. And it is great that they were able to hold on to him.
Do you have any thoughts, Tanner?
Um, honestly, not really a giant moose guy. I mean, I think the whole moose thing is cool, but I'm not even sure if that's still his theme.
It is not.
Yeah.
With Moose, it's interesting because like there's been this feeling within like the Impact community, which I keep like a track of, that Moose is done, because Moose has been his story has kind of like fallen from the main event to this like mid card thing. He like was used to put over Joe Hendry, which I love Joe Hendry, but
Mm.
Moose was like this top guy. I mean, Moose. I expected him to go to WWE. I expected it from a long time. Moose always felt WWE bound. Like from the second he entered the wrestling business, he just seemed like their type of guy. And it looks like it will never say never, but it looks unlikely that it will ever happen because when his
It's a long.
contract ends, yeah,
He's old.
he's like 38 now, I believe.
Yeah.
How long is this deal?
He nothing has
It's
been reported
not,
yet.
but it's the longest in Impact history apparently. So it's probably pretty long.
Uh-oh. Well,
You got
hey, I
to
don't
think about
blame
how
him. Wait, what are you saying?
you got to think about how long AJ Styles was signed on. Like I think it was only 2 contracts that he signed.
So like 5 years,
Hey,
6 years.
Yeah, that's probably what it's around.
hey, I don't blame him. Lay where you feel comfortable at. It,
Yeah.
that that's his paycheck, not mine. So who am I to tell him what to do?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Um, I think that Joe Hendry thing is an Impact problem in general. They have a lot of trouble separating their stars from the new debuts, who aren't exactly stars to the audience yet.
I don't agree with you on Joe Hendry because I think Joe Hendry is a freaking star.
Oh
I
yeah,
think, but like
Joe Hendry's a star, but
most people in general, Impact tend to do this thing where they bring talent over. They're there for like 2-3 months and they're beating like their originals. Like they're beating the Eddie Edwards, they're beating the Mooses, they're beating the Sammy Callahans, and then they leave.
yeah, like, they did it with Myers, who was Kurt Hawkins to the common audience, and they just pushed him to the moon, and it didn't work because everybody looked at him as Kurt Hawkins.
I do like his work in Impact, but when he was going for the world's title, like when there was eyes on Impact because Christian just won that title on Rampage, it felt like okay, it's Christian versus Kurt Hawkins. That's something that people who don't watch your program, which is the majority of the IWC, is going to laugh at. So Moose is a guy who I think Impact can position the company around. I feel like they have to start realizing that these are the guys who are going to stick around. The Mooses, the Motor City Machine Guns who just resigned. These type of guys, Steve Macklin. These are the guys
Eddie
who,
Edwards.
yeah, these are the type of guys who you build your company around because you can. For example, and I love the Briscoes more than anyone else. Rest in peace, Jay Briscoe. I remember they brought Jay Briscoe in and Mark Briscoe, and they won the tag titles immediately.
And then lost them like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point, Like,
Didn't the Good Brothers do the exact same thing recently?
I don't,
I think that was before the Briscoes, but they did also do that for sure, yeah.
I don't want to talk about the Good Brothers Impact run. Honestly, that was awful.
Garbage.
Like, it was
It
so
happened.
boring. It's
It
just the
was
thing.
it was a sign of things to come.
Yeah. Someone who WWE could be looking at, however, is Rush.
Whoosh, whoosh,
Rush.
whoosh.
Rush.
I love whoosh or rush. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Bro, of course, as soon as Andrade returns.
Yeah, now Rush's contract is in doubt. I mean, Rush recently, I believe a week ago, and this is a massive story which I'm not like very informed on, but he left AAA in a big move. Him and his father. Do you have anything on this, Jordan?
I'm reading up on it as we're talking. Uh, there's some talk about it was with New Japan's they cut ties with CML's rivals, promoted to A to AAA Mexico, and there was rivalry between the two brands, and I don't think Roosh liked it. But take that with a hint of speculation. I'm still reading on this.
So
Okay,
yeah.
what I got from that was NJPW and AEW are partnered. And then AEW and AAA are kind of partnered. And NJPW doesn't like AAA, basically.
They like CMLL,
Yeah.
That's so childish.
but apparently he left right before Triple Mania, which is like I believe their version of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah, he left.
That's petty.
He had multiple appearances lined up. He essentially said, "I'm not doing these. That doesn't work for me, brother." Um,
That is the most rush move I've ever seen.
Rush is a carny, but we love him for it.
Andrade, Roosh. That doesn't work for me, brother.
Here's an interesting thing, though. According to Meltzer, his AEW contract was a 1-year deal and it's expiring soon. So, is this a sign for things to come? Do you think we'll see Rush anywhere else? Do you think he's leaving AEW? Do you think this is him freeing up his schedule?
Right now, I don't see him leaving AEW because I think he just found his niche. Like people are getting on board with him. Like there's a Roosh train, and it's going straight for the uh, Orange's title. So people are on board with him, and I believe he can see that. So I believe that's gonna, try to persuade him to stay. Like,
Oh,
that
I
what you're
think
saying?
it's on what the plans are for him and Andrade and uh
House of Black
what's his name?
or Dralistica?
Who's the other person in that faction?
Preston Vance and
Uh,
Dralistica.
Yeah, yeah. What the plans are for them, depending if they go for the trios titles or if they're just doing nothing. That will be the key factor in whether he leaves or not.
I definitely think they're splitting it up after what happened on Collision. Would
Yeah, hopefully.
I know
so
people.
yeah.
Hold on, what you saying?
You go first because mine is a question to all of you.
All right. I know people were kind of because of how he exited when they was about to do the New Japan Forbidden Door event. People have been saying that maybe he's gonna call it Naito, because he used to team with him back in Japan. Maybe he's gonna call him in for the that's an event he really wanted to run. So maybe he's gonna call him in for Forbidden Door. They take on, say, the House of Black, so something like that. But overall, I don't think Roosh is going anywhere.
So he doesn't think Rouge is going anywhere. What do you think, Tanner? Do you think we'll see Rouge?
I don't think he leaves.
You know, I think there's a possibility. there's always a possibility because like when like your contracts bring up like this, I feel companies are gonna make a move. I feel like WWE might make a move. I feel like NJPW might make a move. I feel like especially CMLL is going to make a big move for him, which wouldn't affect him in AEW, but like would be massive in Mexico. Do I expect him to leave? No, I don't think so. As Jordan said, he's just finding his footing now. I think he's doing great work. So like, why ruin it to go team with your brother in NXT 2.0? You know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this is a very chaotic episode of the Wrestling Universe podcast, but it was a fun one. You can find me at Cosk151 on Twitter. Where can they find you, Jordan?
Give me 1 second. Demon Activity 56.
Okay. And what about you, Tanner? Do you want people to know where they can find you?
Yes, but my username is not coming to my head right now. So
I
we're
think
gonna
I
have
know
to
it.
edit.
I no, it's fine. I think I know it. At _H4RP.
Oh yeah. There might be another underscore after that, but yeah, it's something like that.
I'll link it on the Twitter post, so it's okay. Well,
Right.
that's where you can find us. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good day. Subscribe for more.
Bye, y'all.